Hey everybody, it's Brickwaffle again, and we are back on Minecraft. It's been a long time, but it is the series that started the channel, so we're going to start playing again in Vanilla 1.13 with the BlockFarmers. So I'm really excited to get started with you guys. You can see we've already got some of the new biomes right out here. We've got our warm corals, our warm oceans with all the coral in it, kelp, everything else that comes with the new update aquatic. And we have made a few changes from Vanilla. No mods, but we are using some data packs to change a few of the settings. And I've gathered a couple of things already. I'm just going to go ahead and get a boat put together so we can leave this spawn island, head for the mainland, and I'm going to talk about the changes that we're making as we get things going. Alright, so like I said, we've been using a few data packs, and man, I really like the new color of the water, and the corals look really cool too. We're definitely coming back here to get some of that stuff later on. We're heading for the mainland. There's going to be a link to the map and the seed that we're using, all that good stuff right down there in the description, so you can see where we are. Obviously there's a little bit of an island there, but not much. We're going to head for the mainland, which should be just up this way a little bit. So what are we changing? Obviously, we've made a few tweaks to Gamerules. Everybody does that to some extent. So we're leaving the maxentity cramming on the default, but we're turning firespread off so nobody has to worry about their structures getting burned down. Is it worth getting any of that coal? We might come back for that. We're doing the mob heads from Assume a Void, so we can get mob heads that drop from different creatures. That'll be fun. We're also doing one player sleeping, so as if we got multiple folks on the server and anybody wants to go to bed, it'll make it daytime for everyone, which, you know, could be convenient here pretty soon. We have an option to silence mobs by naming them silence. We have anti-endermen griefing, so they can't pick up any blocks. We're making sure that the ender dragon always drops an Elytra, and that shulkers always drop 2 shells. And we have custom armor stands, so we can change their positions, poses, give them arms, that kind of stuff. We're able to silk touch mob spawners using a golden silk touch pickaxe. We have some new crafting recipes to make things a little bit easier so you can craft things like saddles that you normally can't craft. We have one that's interesting, I think it's going to be fun, where we can take shulker mites, and if they sit on a purple block for 2 minutes, rather than despawning, they'll convert that purple block into a shulker. So I think that's kind of neat. And then we actually have a gravestone mod in vanilla using data packs. That's really cool. So if you do die, it drops a gravestone with all your stuff in it. And you can come back and get it just by crouching over that gravestone, which is pretty awesome. And there is a village, so I think we're going to end up stopping up here for the night, probably. And then, of course, the last thing we've done is we've increased the drop of tridents, since those are so helpful in the update aquatic. So let me get back out of F5 mode here, grab my boat with me, and let's see if we can't get a couple of sheep here, make a bed, and get into the village. So, hey sheep, I need your wool, and I don't have shears, so I'm going to have to get this the hard way. There we go, and a third one. There we go. So let's run in here, make a bed, and get into some daytime. And then we can check out this village and see what we've got going on. So let's see, crafting table, 3 wool. Dope, we only have 2 planks. Oh man, let's steal some planks from the roof here. Is that stairs or planks? That's planks. Alright, so sorry about your house. I'll put it back at some point. There's a bed. Let's pop that on here and we can get to sleep. So if you haven't seen the changes for 1.13, there's a ton of videos out there that go into what's different and what's new, but a lot of it has to do with the ocean. There's a few changes to the way that the game is structured, some technical changes. If you're one of those folks that likes to dig into the technical parts of Minecraft, I'm sure there's tons of information out there for you. Ooh, books. You can take those too. Really what we want to focus on is being creative, building new interesting things, and of course, the way I always like to do it, getting some farms put together so we can automate as much stuff as possible. Hey, don't shut the door on me. I'm stealing your books, man. It's not nice. So yeah, if you guys have suggestions for builds, of course, feel free to leave those in the comments. Leave whatever comments you like, really. Any of your feedback is really helpful. Helps me figure out what you guys would like to see me do this season. There we go. And I think that volume might be a little bit loud. Let's turn that sound down a bit. Maybe it's just in my headphones. There we go. And turn blocks down a bit too. But yeah, if you guys have projects you would like to suggest, or you know, kind of farms you want to see, or build styles you want me to try to do, you know, I'm not the best builder. I do what I can. I try to make things look nice, but if you guys have some suggestions, of course I'm all ears for that. Let's go ahead and get some coal while we're here. And I'm not sure where we're going to set up. You know, it's very, very, very beginning of a server. I'm not going to build a base right away. I don't want to just leave a bed in a villager house, although that is an option. But if I stay here too long, you know, at nighttime zombies are going to eat all these villagers, unless I really light the place up and lock them in at night. So I think what we're going to do is just take a quick peek down here. We do have a couple torches. Let's drop one there. Anything interesting? Yeah, a little bit of iron. And then we're just going to go find a cave somewhere put down a few chests, start gathering up materials. And for the first few episodes, I think it's just going to be a lot of gathering. It won't be anything super interesting yet, but we want to come back to this place for sure. So I'm going to make sure I make a note of the coordinates here. Oops, there's some more coal as well. That's pretty handy. Let's go ahead and mine this out. I know that's probably kind of dark to see. There we go. Especially on when it renders for YouTube, it tends to get even darker than it is for me on my screen right now. So yeah, I know that Sakala and Sonata Block will be playing again. I'm not sure if we'll have some of the other block farmers join us, but I know at least those two will be joining us again at some point. So, you know, the first episode is just me, just got the server up and running, made sure everything works, made sure all the data packs were installed correctly. And again, I'll have links for all of that stuff in the description of this video so you guys can check that out for yourself, see if you want to use any of that. If you have any comments about the data packs, things you think would be a good addition to the server, things you're concerned about that might seem, you know, overly cheaty, like the extra tridents dropping, things like that, let me know what you think about all that. You know, we can always change some of this too. But the goal is to kind of make it interesting for us and for you guys as well. And the drop rate on tridents is 30%. So instead of 8%, it's basically a little more than tripled. But it's not like it's 100% drop rate or anything. Didn't want to go that far. And we'll go ahead and get this coal too. Early on, coal's pretty useful for torches and for, you know, of course, smelting everything we need. Looks like we got wheat and carrots here, but I didn't see any potatoes. That would be really nice early on. Potatoes are still pretty good food. That part hasn't changed in Minecraft in a long time. I do like the new other updates that with the water out there and the new coral biomes. We're definitely going to play around with that. So I don't want to go too far from shore. Oh good, there's more farms as well. And we will definitely leave some of their crops alone. Any potatoes planted over here? There's beets, but beets are kind of useless. Might grab a couple just to have them. There we go, we have a beet. Well, we got a couple beets now. And let's see, one of the things that I wanted to do is play around with the resource packs. So I wanted to see if we could have the new 1.13 textures. And let's go ahead and do that. So if I go to resource packs, we can see that there's a new one that Wells Knight posted that the Hermits are using, where it's the new textures that Jabba is working on, not Star Wars, already converted to 1.13. So you can see already a few things look different with the crops, with the logs, things like that. But this is eventually going to be the new look of Minecraft anyway, officially. So it kind of makes sense to go ahead and play with those too. And it helps to see things like beets versus wheat at a glance. But I still don't see any potatoes. Are these potatoes? They are potatoes. Fantastic. See? New texture is very helpful. You can see very early on in growth stage what they are. Really like that. So we got some potatoes, some carrots, some seeds, a couple of beetroot seeds. We've already managed to get 12 iron. And this book is just for customizing armor stands when we get to that. So we're doing really good. Oh wow, there's already bookshelves over here too. So we've got enough to make 7 bookshelves. If we get this, we'll have enough to make 14, and that's almost a full enchanting room in like the first few minutes of the game. That's awesome. Of course, we need diamonds and obsidian, so we're still a little ways off from that. But having the books is really handy. So really all we need now is the ability to make a few more, 3 more books. So we need 3 more leather, which we can get from these guys. How much do we get off them? 2? Let's see. We need 1 more cow probably, and then we need to get some sugarcane. And like I said, hopefully we'll be far enough away from the village that monsters won't spawn in there and kill all the villagers, but we'll see how that works. No leather from that guy. There we go. Okay, so we've got 3 leather. We can make 3 more books. And let's head back for the coast and make sure we can still get some sugarcane out here. Now, some of the new stuff that's going to be really nice is the waterlogged mechanics. So again, if you guys aren't familiar with that, the short version of it is that now water will behave nicely with blocks that are not full blocks, like stairs, slabs, ladders, things like that. It will fill up the gaps in those blocks. The advantage to that is it still counts as a water source block. So if you put, say, a slab in the top half of a block that has water in it, it still counts as a water source for things like hydrating crops. So that makes it really easy to do things like sugarcane farms without having the little water trenches in between, so you don't have to constantly worry about falling in there. So that's kind of a nice change of pace. It also makes regular farming a little bit nicer too. It looks like just a drop down there. Go ahead and grab those. We got our sugarcane. I don't really see any other sugarcane on the coast, but we may as well grab some cacti while we're out here as well. And let's go ahead and get some kelp, just anything that's new. I want to play around with it a little bit. Kelp you can cook up and eat as a snack, or you can convert the dried kelp into blocks and use that as fuel. Oh, that's interesting. There's like a little cave under here that the sand would fall into. Be real careful under there. I don't want to get caught down here and run out of breath. That'd be a big problem. And yeah, I need to get a furnace made so I can cook up this mutton here, and that's going to be another pretty important thing to do fairly soon. We do have enough cobblestone for that. We do have enough coal. So I think it's just going to be a matter of finding a spot, grabbing a little cactus here just so we can grab a few things that we need early on in the game. Needs kind of a strong word with cactus, but you know, it's here. Grab a couple of these, and then we'll be nice and leave a little bit of extra for the other block farmers if they come this way. Now we don't have anything set up officially about we're all going to use a certain area for certain purposes or anything like that really. We just decided we felt like playing Minecraft again, and that's about as far as we've gotten. So if you do see anything, you know, like, oh, well, what, you know, so-and-so's building over here, what about this and that, we're going to figure that out as we go. Kind of leave it to be organic and address things as they come up. There's a little bit more sugarcane. I think I'm just going to stick with the, 3 pieces I have. That's fine. I can turn that into a farm. So, let's see. We don't want to be too close to the village so we don't end up losing all the villagers, but we don't really want to be in the desert either. Let's just go a little bit further on down the road here. Follow this river a little ways. And I really need to learn to stop sprinting all the time. There's some bunnies. There's a savanna. You know what? Let's try the savanna out. And here's a little bit more sugarcane. We'll just take the tops of these. That's pretty good. I wonder if there's a desert temple out this way. Let's check out this cave. Let's see what's in here, because this could be a decent place to set up, although I don't really want to have sand falling in me on top of me all the time. We got a little bit more iron. We'll take that. Always need iron early on for buckets and shears and all sorts of other stuff. A little bit like that. I'm not going to grab all the coal right now because I want to keep an eye on the time. I'm just kind of curious where this goes. Okay, it looks like it dead ends back here. So we can make sure we come back and get some coal here if we need to. Obviously, we're using it for torches. We're going to need more of it. Now we could set up here, but I think I just want to carve out a small room. And let me go ahead and I'm going to pause right here for a minute, go find a little place to set up, and then kind of resume when I have some things set aside in the chests in a little bit of a safe place. So I'll catch you guys in just a second. All right, so we're back. We've got our bed set up. We just dug a little bit of a hole in the wall here. Put some chests, a couple of furnaces. We just grabbed some food. We're smelting up the rest of our iron and just got a few things for storage right now. This is obviously not going to be our home for very long, but we do want to come out here and at least get some water and start growing some crops. And I think before we do that, we're just going to level out a little bit of space out in front of the house. And we're just going to grow them right out here, kind of just outside the front door. That way it'll be really easy to just harvest these whenever we come back to drop stuff off at the house. And again, just a starter hut. We're not going to keep it like this for very long, but we do want to get a few things started as quickly as we can. So one thing that we do want to do is get some iron armor, obviously. It's like everything you normally do in a Minecraft game, but what's a little bit different in 1.13 is shipwrecks. And we do want to go after some of those shipwrecks pretty early on if we can. You know what, let's go ahead and take this tree out, and we're just going to go ahead and use all this space as well. But shipwrecks are a good source of treasure. They can give us some nice enchanted gear. I'm going to end up breaking this shovel pretty quickly. But it could be really nice to go get some potentially diamond tools really early on. That would be fantastic. There's some floating grass. We're not going to deal with that. And I don't need a whole lot of space here. I think what we want to do, so let's see, water goes out 4 blocks in every direction when you're talking about hydrating crops. We have a little bit of leftover sapling over here, so let's go ahead and plant one of those. So let's see, 4 in every direction means if we put water back here, we could use all of this space for crops. And we really only have to put one like right there, because this is already going to hydrate. That's going to let us go out this far. So we do want to clear some of this out too, so we can plant some sugarcane as well. Although we could just plant the sugarcane right here around the edge of this lake, this little pond. That might be the easiest thing to do. So let's just grab some space here. So we'll have a place to plant that. And then we can get started on growing all this stuff. And I also made some shears as well as a bucket so we can get some more wool to make more beds, things like that. I'm not going to worry about that side for now. Let's do it this way. How do we want to do that? I think what we want to do is put some blocks down like in a row like this. And like that. And then we want to kind of even this up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's what we're going to want to do. Okay, so then we need to get our bucket, fill that up, grab that again, and we need to get rid of that guy and fill that again. And we're going to want to do one more so we can do that spot. There we go. So now what we want to do is make some slabs. So we can also go ahead and make, looks like we need a new, oh, we have our pick here, good. We do need to make a new shovel. So let's grab some of these oak logs. I think we even have some sticks in here on one of these things, don't we? Yeah. So let's grab a couple sticks and a bit of cobblestone. I guess we need that. Sticks and cobblestone, there's our stone shovel. Okay, and then we want to make some oak slabs. That's going to give us 6, 12, let's just go ahead and do 18 of those. There we go. And we're going to sleep in our bed again. Probably should learn to shut our door at night, but you know, it's just about to be nighttime. We're probably all right. To do that, we're going to come out here and do this. So when I put this slab in here, see if I hit F3, you'll be able to see waterlogged on the right-hand side of the screen under targeted block, and green waterlogged is true. So this counts as water, even though it's got a slab on it. And we're going to do the same thing over here with this pond. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. There we go. And I think I want to take this out too, now that we have our shovel again. We're going to use both sides of this for growing sugarcane. And we still have our infinite water source right there if we need it for anything. Let's just terraform that a little bit. Landscaping, there we go. Put these in. You can see that it even flows out of that block that has the slabs in it. That's a perfect example. So that counts as having full water in it right there on the side. Whoops, not torches. Wrong thing. There we go. And we're going to use this for sugarcane. Let's go ahead and get rid of these guys too. And then we're going to use this area for crops. So again, this isn't going to be permanent, but since I've got a shovel, let's go ahead and take some of this stuff out. And then we can hoe up all this area. And we don't need to hoe anything for sugarcane, we just need to plant it down on dirt or sand. So that should be fine. And now what we can do is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, well that's 5. Don't want that one. There we go. 2, 3, 4. And basically go all the way back here like this. So all of this is going to be hydrated from this one block with a slab on it, so we don't even have to worry about falling in there anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And that should be just fine to keep all that hydrated. There we are. So now that we have that, we can plant some wheat in a few rows here. So let's just do rows like this. There we are. And we're going to alternate rows of wheat and other crops. Did I miss one? I did. We've only got a couple left there. Let's go ahead and get some carrots in one of these. I missed a couple of those. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It should be 9. Yep. There's our taters. And we're going to go that way. Missed one. And we're going to leave space for wheat and go this way again. There we go. Let's go ahead and put some beets in on one end just for fun. Let's just do a couple of beets. Actually, let's leave that middle row for beets because we're probably not going to ever harvest it. So there's that, and let's do the wheat there. All right, now for our sugar cane, we got 9 of that, and we can plant that right along here because it has to be planted next to water, and that counts. So now we're going to have sugar cane right there. Nothing's going to fall into the water and make us have to worry about going in there after it. That's going to be pretty good for us. So let's grab a few of these things, just break this grass. We'll get a couple more wheat seeds out of it as we're going, but just really for making it look a little nicer. There we are. Now we're doing pretty well in terms of having some crops set up. Oop, got another seed there. raided our village to get our crops going. We could get a few more animals for some food, but we also have our shears now, so we can get wool a little bit easier. We get twice as much wool, and we can leave the sheep here. And we got 3 off of that guy. That's very handy. So obviously this has enough space set up for us to be able to grab some things, come back here, use this as a base of operations. One trick I'm going to do is just basically F3 and F2, and that's going to take a picture of my coordinates so I can remember those for later. And let's go ahead and throw some dirt. We got some planks there, some cobble. We need to get some sand and some cactus going too. Let's do that. Really, just early game is all about getting things set up correctly so that you can start harvesting later. Where do we want to set these up? Oh, we really don't even need to. There's cactus right there. I think we're fine. We can just throw that in a chest somewhere. If we need cactus for anything, it's growing right outside our front door. So let's see. This is for random miscellaneous stuff. Let's grab that back out. And we want to get all of our crops of any kind in there. Our blocks down in here. And I think we're in pretty good shape. I don't want to cook this beef yet until we can get 7 of something else, or 6 of something else, so that we're not wasting anything. But 10 is enough to make at least 1 piece of armor. I think we can make a chest and part of, yeah, so it's 8 for the chest, 7 for the boots. That's 15, 20, 24 iron we need to get a full set of armor. But I think this is a pretty good start. I think we're going to call it right here. Really, I'm just excited to get this series out to you guys. We're going to try and do it as often as we can. I'm not going to stick to a specific schedule yet. As I said, you know, I do YouTube when inspiration strikes me. If you guys have ideas, you want to help send some motivation my way, leave a comment. If you really like the video, make sure you hit that like button. And of course, you can always subscribe to get more videos. And as always, I've been Brickwaffle. Thank you for watching.